Уважаемый председатель Худзинтау,
President Hu, dear leaders, heads of state and governments, distinguished chairman of board of directors, Mr. Fukuda, dear colleagues, I would like to start by thanking organizers of the forum for a possibility to exchange of opinions on the relevant issues of the global development and to discuss our joint plans, including the plans for Asian and the Pacific region. Mr. Chairman has just said that today's world is characterized by the unprecedented interdependence of the state. It's quite evident. The impact of the world financial crisis, destabilization, which was observed in the Middle East, in the North Africa, natural and man-made disaster in Japan. These are all reminders of the need for jointly search for the responses to these challenges. In this context, the topic which was proposed for today's forum, the topic of inclusive development, is quite relevant today. I would like to briefly dwell on the most important aspects of this topic. First of all, the successful inclusiveness development is possible only in the democratic environment and fair international relations, not only political ones, but also economic ones. One of the most important steps to create these conditions should be the reforms of the global financial system. This is what we have been dealing over the last 2 years. The progress has been achieved on this track because of unprecedented and very active actions by a number of states, G20 states, and of course it was attributed to the contributions of some other countries. The BRICS summit, which in Hainan Island in Sanya, confirmed that the member states of Forum stands for the creation of a new multipolar world architecture. This architecture should take into account the fair distribution of the global development potential and dynamic development of new centers of the economic and political influence. Second, the inclusive development as a principle of the state policy has a key priority not only at the international level but also at the domestic level. The knowledge-based economies based on investment and use of the state-of-the-art technologies open the way to the most important thing, which is the substantial increase in the living standards of our citizens. It is very important that the access to development opportunities and benefits is not limited to specific groups or some layers of the population, or let's say to a number of states, which was observed in the human history. No one should be deprived of these opportunities or left alone in this human progress. It means everyone should have an opportunity to use its potential while participating in the global economic interaction. That is why we pay more attention to increased quality of education, support for the talented people, and active policy in the field of employment. Russia believes as an absolute priority the implementation of the social obligations. Today, we are solving these tasks on the basis of the modernization and the model, which is based on innovation, investment, infrastructure development, and modern institutes. Of course, it is very important. There is another important element, the development of the intellectual potential of the nation. We, as other countries, face a lot of problems and a lot of challenges with which we are confronted. And of course, we are trying to solve them on a gradual basis, but we are open for the partnership in the field of modernization, and we planned to focus on this topic during the Russian presidency in APEC next year. APEC, which is the highly respected regional structure, could play its important role in creating favorable conditions for developing modern and comfortable cities, free movement of goods, capital, services, labor, and to exchange the state-of-the-art technologies and experience and creation of incentives for innovation policies. So development of the policy on the basis of these inclusive development principles. Third, the stable, balanced development is not possible without efficient policy in the field of environmental climate protection and responding to the adverse climate changes. These actions are serving as a huge catalyst for the modernization of production, energy efficiency, incentives for the modern, environmentally clean technologies. These are the same goals that are set forth in the climate doctrines of our country. Fourth, our today's topics of today's forum has a clearly expressed regional aspects, which was mentioned by the President Hu of China. For the Asian and the Pacific region, which is now witnessing the powerful integration processes, these regional aspects are quite important. And I'm pretty much sure that this development should be comprehensive, should engage all the countries of the region without creating new dividing lines, but rather leveling up economic potentials of the countries, because so far the difference in economic potentials still exists. The future of Russia, modernization of the economic potential of Siberian region and the Far East are closely related to the Asian and the Pacific region because of for the simple reason, because we are the part of this region and we are interested in the maximum development of this region. High technology industries, energy security, transport and logistic systems. These are the area where we can attain added value for the regional cooperation. Another area is the interaction in the field of the prevention and response to the emergency situation and natural disasters. We expressed our sincere sympathy to the Japan government and people of the Japan, and we believe that these implications would be overcome in the near future. And tragic events in Japan once again confirmed that there is a need for a constant exchange of information channels, expert support, and what is more important, the mobile response forces. We have made these proposals during previous meetings of G20, and now we believe it's the right time to consider them in a greater detail, to study them thoroughly, and we are trying to make further proposals to our partners in terms of taking into account the experience of Japan events in the light of peaceful nuclear energy developments. You said that it should be developed further, and I agree with you. Natural disasters shouldn't prevent us from developing this sector, but we should take into account the lessons that we have drawn. The partnership relations, active participation of regional organizations are very important for us. There is no any alternative to that, and we will continue this course. And finally, the development of the social economic development of the ATR countries is not possible without open, transparent, and equal architecture of security and cooperation. This architecture should be based on the principles of the international law, and it should take into account the legitimate interest of all states, without any distinction. That is precisely what we proceed with the President Hu when last year in Beijing we put forward the joint initiative on strengthening security and cooperation within the ATR region. Its fundamental principle of equal and shared security could serve for the Asia and the Pacifics as a very important unification principle. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to say that this meeting of the Forum for Asia is quite representative in terms of its participation, which is the further confirmation of its growing significance. Russia stands ready to participate productively in these activities, and our conversation, which we have started today, could be continued in June at St. Petersburg Economic Forum. Everyone is invited. Thank you very much.